Hey, 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 welcome to the Lollipop class, you guys. Super excited about this one. It took me a while to tweak the recipe, but with the help of my student, Sandy's Candies, she was my guinea pig, love you, we got a perfect recipe. So we're literally just using 3 ingredients. We're doing some like corn syrup, some sugar, and some extract. I'm using strawberry extract today. And you can also add some food coloring if you want. You don't need a lot. Again, I will have the recipe for you. It will be sent to your email. Make sure you have a cup of water with a brush, a pastry brush. It doesn't have to be this one, but just make sure you have this handy. Make sure you have a thermometer. Do not stick the thermometer in first. Wait until you have all the ingredients in there. Some people might need a spoon. If you're not using a small saucepan like this, and you go bigger, you might need a spoon to scoop it into the molds. You're going to need some lollipop sticks. And to decorate, anything sparkly, pretty, and I'll show you a little later when we're done, how to incorporate all this. The cool thing about Jolly Ranchers and having Jolly Ranchers on hand, if you do, is that you could stick these in there as soon as it's done boiling and you know, this will melt down. You swirl it and you'll get a nice tie-dye or marble effect. If you want that, you don't have to. It's an alternative. You could try it. Remember, it doesn't hurt to try different things. I really love using these pearl scent red squares. These are from, let's see if you can get focus. There we go. These are little sprinkles, but they're not your average sprinkles. They're like sprinkle flakes, and they're not glitter. I don't know how to explain them, but I really love these for the lollipops. And I'll show you one of these on one of the lollipops. I made my own lollipop mold a while back. You can use any mold. This mold is from Calico Cakes AZ. It's going to be coming in handy real soon. This mold I got at the dollar store, I believe. These are skulls. So how awesome would it be to send these to your kids instead of cupcakes? Just fill these up, wrap them. They have a sweet little candy for, you know, Halloween or whatever theme you have. Super cute, right? I made my own makeshift lollipop pan or mold because I didn't have any on hand for me. And you know me, I get creative with everything. So, alright, let's get started. We're going to move this rubber. We don't want it to burn. So, again, we're using Nana's Kitchen. Don't judge her mess. And we're just going to turn it on a low heat. And then gradually bring it up to a medium. Let's put it on a medium right now. Okay. So the recipe does call for 1 cup light corn syrup, 2/3 cup sugar, 1 and 1/2 teaspoon of flavoring, and an 1/8 teaspoon of coloring. Remember, the coloring is contingent to what you want. I like the clear lollipops. It makes it look more rustic, more old. I just like the clear ones. But if you want a tint of pink, blue, whatever, go for it. Use the color. I'm not going to be using color today. But I am going to be using the strawberry flavoring. And these lollipops are going to be for the boys and their friends around the neighborhood because they made more friends. Yay. Okay. So I'm not going to be doing the full cup of light corn syrup. I'm going to be doing half of the recipe. So since I'm doing half of the recipe, we'll probably get a dozen lollipops. The full recipe calls for approximately 2 dozen lollipops. And just using 2, technically 3 ingredients, you don't have to use the flavoring because it tastes good by itself. That's a lot of lollipops for 2 ingredients. Just saying. It's the gonga. Alright, so let me pour half a cup of the light corn syrup. Pot is nice and warm. So I'm going to do half a cup of the light corn syrup. Make sure you have a spatula on hand. It's already sizzling. Sizzle, sizzle, baby. Don't worry. Don't worry. And then we're going to do about 1/3 of sugar. I don't want that many lollipops, you guys, so get that extra. Alright, now you don't really want to whisk it. You don't want to put too many air bubbles in there. You do want to mix it so it incorporates. So you see the sugar on the side of the pan right there? This is why we have our brush. And with our water, we just loosen up the sugar particles. That's okay if a little bit of sugar gets in there. No biggie, guys. Make sure your saucepan is 100% clean, or whatever is in the saucepan will get in your lollipops. Alright, we have that fully incorporated. Let's stick our thermometer in there. Remember, we want it to get to 300. So as soon as we hit 300, don't let it hit the bottom of the pan. Hold it, because if you let it hit the bottom of the pan, it's going to get the direct heat. So we want to know what the mixture heat is. So hold it in the mixture. And you also have this side, the knob right here, the side knob, so you can hold it in the mixture so it doesn't touch, kind of touches the bottom. But I prefer to hold it, get it to 300. It should take approximately 3 to 5 minutes depending on the heat you have it on. It will crystallize if you overcook it, okay? And it will get really hard. Just remember that. Okay. This is all perfectly normal. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about stirring it. Don't stir it too much. Again, it's good. We incorporated everything in there. Literally, you're gonna be fine. Don't overthink it. That's why I'm doing a video for you guys. Now, at this time, it's getting to 250. You could add your flavoring, but if you add your flavoring at 250, it could diminish the flavor. So what I like to do is when it comes to 300, I add the flavor when it's at 300. Why? Because then you're going to remove it from the heat, you're going to incorporate the flavor, and mix it together. And this would be 1.5 teaspoons, so I would do half and half of a half, so 1/4 and a half. I am going to eyeball it when it's time. Just make sure all those sugar particles are staying off the sides of your saucepan. The smaller the pan, the better. Please keep that in mind. So it might turn a little yellow, a little tint of yellow, only because you're cooking the sugar and the light corn syrup. Make sure you do have a thermometer on hand. The thermometer itself only cost me $3 at Walmart. You can get them at Michael's for, what, $5, and then you use your coupon. Don't forget those coupons. So right now it's still at a medium heat. I'm just going to bump it up a little, not too much. I didn't bump it up that much. And we're just going to wait for it to come to 300. At this point, if you choose to, you could get your lollipop sticks and put them in place. But if you're deciding to put edible flowers or wafer paper or anything in here, I would add that first and have it sit in there. Oh, this would make for a pretty, like, Gatsby, pretty gold and coral pink. Oh, that would be such a pretty Gatsby party. So we're going to do that. And then let's add some hearts. We're still not quite at 300. We're almost there. But you're keeping your eye on the mixture. Multitasking. Put some hearts. You don't have to add it at the bottom. You can add it at the top. It just looks better when you add it at the bottom. Trust me. Alright. And then here, let's make a Halloween one. Halloween's coming up. My favorite time of the year. So I'm going to make some, look at that. It's going to be a Halloween lollipop. Sprinkles are your best friend. Now, at this time, now that you're at 300, got to 300, you guys. I'm gonna take it off. See, 300. right there. Swirl it just a little. Everything's looking great, still bubbling. Put this in your sink. Make sure you have your mixture ready. If you have a pour pot, meaning you have a little spout and you just pour it in, perfect. If you don't panic, it's okay. This is why I said do not add your sticks yet. You can add your stick after and then pour some more in there. I just feel like it's more of a cleaner finished look. You see the mixture? Nice and bubbly. Have some caramel still in there left from last time, so have some caramel bits in there. So what you want to do is you can take your spoon if you want to do it this way. It's completely up to you guys, okay? So remember, avoid bubbles as much as possible. So you want it to come down to room temperature, but you still have to work fast. So what I'm going to do is just pour it in here. And depending on how thick you want it, remember, it'll give you up to a dozen doing half, or 2 dozen doing the full recipe. Or you can just spoon them in there, or directly from the pot. Now what you're going to do for the bubbles, because this is the trick, is tap, tap, tap. Let it settle. And then the bubble should be coming out. If you did the mixture to 300 degrees, you shouldn't worry about bubbles. Even though you still have bubbles in here, you shouldn't worry about the bubbles being in the mold, because if you did the mixture to 300 and you followed exactly what I told you to do, you'll be fine. Okay, now I'm gonna add my stick. And then I'm just gonna roll it. Can you see that? Roll it in the candy mixture. I'm gonna do that with the other one too. Remember, you can use lollipop molds, whatever kind of mold you feel like using or that you want to use. I would prefer you use lollipop molds, but you can get them with sugary essentials. You see? Bubbles are gone. And then you could just add some more. Like that. Super easy, super simple, super elegant. Good old school hard candy. Remember, you can add the flavoring. I didn't add the flavoring only because I wanted to show you the clearness. Once you add the flavoring, and you could still add the flavoring at this point, it's not going to be as clear depending on the flavoring that you're using, okay? You see it's sizzling. That means the flavor is infusing. Oh, it smells like strawberries. Alright, so you see you get a tint of yellow, kind of a yellow. It's not a clear lollipop anymore. Now, what I don't suggest you do is put this in the freezer, because it will get sticky once you take it out. So I'm just going to put some sprinkles on here. And, oh. And let's put that there. The spoon is there to help you, but if you have a spout on your pot, better, way better. It'll help you out so much. Okay, now make sure you get every end of the mold, depending on what mold you're using. Remember, swirl the stick and let it sit. So we're gonna let those sit. You can put them in the fridge or the freezer, you guys. I just highly suggest you don't. You can color the remaining as well. You can turn the heat on really low. This is why I tell you you have to work fast. I would say like not even a drop. A drop is going to give you so much color, and you'll see. Keep it on low heat. But the beauty of working with this recipe, freaking love it. Love it. I will have this recipe for you guys along with this video link. And if you have any questions, I'm always here to help. So I put it on low heat. As you see, it's more pliable. I'm able to work with it. Now you can make your own Jolly Ranchers. You can make your own candy with these. So, got this mold. See, now it's more pliable. If it's not as pliable as you'd like it, remember, just put it low heat. Oh, that's gonna look awesome. Remember, it's candy. You can burn yourself. Be careful. Just use the mold. Let it guide you. Get a lollipop stick. Twist it. Stick it in there. And then you're gonna have a saguaro lollipop. And all the finished product is on the flyer of what the candy class is. So I would leave these, you can leave them at room temperature. Again, if you put them in the refrigerator, you can get the stickiness. Look at that, they're already setting up. Give them about half an hour to an hour, depending how cool. Put them in front of the fan. Just really depends on how cool your house is. I say half an hour to an hour. You can always reheat this up, but the more you reheat it, the less it will be workable. So I would suggest you use it all. This will make approximately a dozen, depending on how big your lollipops are going to be. But look at how pretty that color is. And this is Chef Master's Violet. It's a pretty color. So super easy. Make them however you want to make them. I just felt that they were super adorable. They're pretty trendy right now. Dress them up, bag them up, put a bow on them, however you want. But I hope you guys enjoyed this class and you learned a lot. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Message me. Thanks, guys.